It's Chayote time.
It's Chayote.
I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm going to start saying
You know, I've
Chayote
also
time.
heard it as Sautee. You know, I don't know if that's just
We
Filipino
can't
way.
be 20 minutes into the video and you're
Whatever,
telling me we're
man.
pronouncing it wrong.
You call it whatever you want to.
We'll see what the comments say if we're saying it wrong, but I'm going to go.
Chayote, Sautee. Which one? It's from Central America,
All
right?
right, I'm going Chayote.
All right.
All right, let's go enjoy some food.
Let's eat.
All right, brother. All right, man. What are we making today?
We're going to make a dish that I grew up with, Chayote and Pork. We Googled a couple different names, but
Yeah.
Okay. No big name.
Okay, so no real name growing up, but Chayote was the main ingredient.
Yes.
And you can just make stuff around it.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So what are we doing first?
Let's go ahead and prep the vegetables.
Okay.
You want to show what people, what a Chayote looks like?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So this is the first time I've ever held a Chayote. So it does feel odd in the hand.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are familiar with Chayote. I'm going to go ahead and say not that many. How would I describe this?
Looks like a pear.
It does have a pear shape. It skin-wise, it almost looks more like an apple, maybe.
Sure.
But it's firm to the touch. I don't know if that means it's more ripe. I don't know if Chayote gets ripe or not
I was
ripe.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to tell if it's ripe.
Okay.
I just look for the one that looks best without blemishes.
There you go. Well,
Right.
luckily for you, these don't have blemishes on it.
Correct.
All right. So what do we need to do first with these?
We're going to go ahead and peel it,
Okay.
and then we will cut it in half.
Okay.
Now, when you start peeling it, it starts to get a little bit like, I don't know, slimy or something.
Slimy.
Yeah. So be careful.
Okay. Well, I'm not afraid of slime.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you told me to be careful, so I felt like the most natural thing to say was, I'm not scared. I mean, on the inside, when you said it's slimy, I was like, yeah, it's kind of gross, but you know, we'll go with it. All right, so I'm going to peel this down.
Yep. Peel that down.
I'm about 3/4 of the way there, and I can feel the sliminess
Yeah.
coming onto my hands. But
So you're going to get to a part there at the ends where, I don't know, call it wrinkly for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And it's hard to get the peeler in there. So at that point there, I try to rinse it off and then just cut it in half.
rinse it off with where it's at right now,
Yeah, just so you can handle it and not.
even though it's got the butt skin on it. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the
and
right word
we'll
to
take
say.
that out.
Okay.
Easier to heal once it's cut.
All right. So rinse.
Yeah. Now you can handle it.
All right. Well, fortunately I got some over here.
All right.
Fortunately for everybody watching this, they're not going to have to watch me do this multiple times. We've already had some kind of prepped and ready to go. How many is this in here? Is this just one?
That's just half. Yeah.
Half. Okay.
So let's show people what it looks like when you cut it. There is like a seed in there.
Yeah.
And really just
Okay.
carve that out, so
Perfect.
it comes like that.
So similar to an avocado, actually not as hard as
Not as hard, yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that as my thumb went straight through.
Exactly.
I've never taken an avocado pit out with my thumb, but hey. All right, so cutting it. What am I
Go ahead
supposed
and
to
cut
put
it
on?
in half, so like this. You see this?
Oh yeah, I should pay attention to what you already had on the
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
And then that can help you, trim that up.
Okay.
Basically. So you
So-
can use a knife, whatever you want
Yeah.
to do.
We'll just figure this out. We'll get going.
That's all.
All right. So when we started this video, you made a comment about Chayote whatever or Chayote something in terms of when I asked you what we were
Yeah.
making in the meal. So
Oh, what are you doing there, man? We got. You're mixing the trash with the bit stuff. I
So
love it.
we got a trash bin, and then we got a food bin.
I love it.
So we're gonna go ahead and mix the two. All right. I mean, we're the ones eating this, so
Yeah.
nobody else would know the difference. But
We'll figure it out. We'll clean that up.
I'm putting some texture in it, so we're good. So anyway, back to the Chayote and you eating this as a kid, but they're not having a real, recipe or name to it. So give
Correct.
me the story about that a little bit. How come?
I mean, it's just one of these dishes that I don't see a lot anywhere.
Right.
I made it for our yearly trip last year. Kind of wanted to give some culture, right? Some Filipino culture there,
Yeah.
to the family. And I think growing up, I didn't really like my mom or dad would make this periodically, but I never sat there and watched how to do it.
Okay.
But when I did get married, I did tell I asked my mom to have Mary, learn all these dishes that I like.
Really?
There's probably like 4 or 5
Okay.
dishes that my mom make, and it's like, hey, please try to mimic this.
Right, replicate this. Replicate this as close as
And
you
obviously
possibly
Mary
can.
does a great job.
Of
and
course.
So now when I make this, we'll usually tag team and work together in the kitchen to get it done. But I didn't really have any of this stuff growing up as a kid there. But my dad was in the Navy as a cook, or I don't know the MOS name, but
Oh, really?
yeah, he actually did. It's funny because one day we were looking at his recipes, little box, and
Yeah.
whatever it is. Let's just say he's making waffles, and it would start off with other way.
Other way?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and chop
This
it
way?
like slices. Yeah, so it looks like apples.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a little bit thicker. I would
than
say,
that?
what is this, 1/4 inch or so, roughly?
Okay. So Rich, you're making me do math equations now. In my
I'm
head,
good.
I'm like, what's bigger than a 1/4 inch?
So yeah, something like that. You don't want it too thin.
Okay.
You don't want it too thick.
Got it.
Again, because it's going to saute
Okay.
and soften up.
You don't want it to disintegrate to nothing.
Correct. We don't want to mash it.
Okay.
Right. It's not mashed potatoes here. But it's a very simple dish at the end of the day. But yeah, back to that quick story.
Yeah, so your
my
dad-
dad would we looked at his recipes, and what was funny is he would kind of make fun because we're like, how do I make this? Because
Yeah.
it's everything is like 200 eggs, because he's cooking for a Navy ship.
Yeah, exactly. There's no quick. Most recipe sites you go to now, you can change the size of the
can't.
serving size.
Not in the 70s there,
Not-
right?
You saw what I was getting ready to do.
I
You were getting ready to correct me.
You're doing it again.
I saw you creeping over here.
I will never let you.
I appreciate that. So there's a lot of interesting things that you were just talking about that I'm super curious on.
Sure.
All
We're ready to go.
right, so that's probably two
Yeah, I think that's
whole
2.5.
chayotes. Okay, 2.5.
Yeah.
All right.
Looking at doing some quick math there.
Okay.
There's 3 halves left.
We've been in this episode for 5 minutes so far, and we've already asked or talked about 2 math problems. So if we could tone that back, that'd be the best.
Tomato, nothing fancy here, right?
Yeah.
Because this will all just cook down.
Okay.
So rough chop, something that you want it to just break down. That's what provides like the soupiness, I guess, to it, right? So it
Yeah.
depends how much soup. Because we don't add water or anything like that to this dish. But
Okay.
ends up being, some water to it.
Yeah.
We'll cook it down.
So back to your dad's 200 recipes. Or sorry, 200 eggs.
Yeah.
200 eggs, but with all the recipes. What were some of the other ones that you pulled out of his recipe book from?
Oof, man, we're
Digging
going
deep.
away. Yeah, that's like
Too deep.
40 years ago plus, man. I don't have that good a memory anymore.
So what's interesting is that my dad was not in the Navy, but he was in the Coast Guard, also a cook.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he got drafted for Vietnam and ended up joining the Coast Guard at that point. And he went to culinary school and got what I would call the luck of the draw, since he got stationed in Ocracoke, or is that Outer Banks?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You think about other places where you get stationed at, I don't think the Outer Banks is
I didn't know that was
exactly.
an option, but yeah,
Exactly. So
there are worse places to be. That's for sure.
I'd like to say we've been there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, we have.
all right, so back to the specific dish.
Okay.
This is one question that I'm always asking folks when they come on. Yeah, you could have made a lot of different things. Why did you go to this specific dish?
I don't know. There's just a flavor that I like to it. Just brings me back, right? Just like any dish.
Yeah.
To certain people, and I know I shared it with the pack there.
Yeah.
So just something simple, easy, and really, it's a squash, right? And
Right.
some people don't like squash, but I think it's something different, and just trying to open up palates, I guess.
I gotcha.
Right.
Okay. All right. So
A little bit of Filipino culture to throw that in there.
yeah.
right?
So I don't know. I would call Chayote different for me, right? Because this is, other than the time that you made this meal for the group that we were camping with, I couldn't have picked out a Chayote in a store or anything. I wouldn't even know what it was.
Exactly.
But in terms of the dish and all that stuff, so obviously you're making it the house. So, and you said you kind of tag team with Mary when you guys were making this dish. How often are you making it? Is this like a monthly staple that you guys got to throw together?
Yeah, even that, like we don't make it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What I am happy though is when I do make it, right? Like Jacob doesn't eat this stuff, but Tiana does. She'll she'll kill it. So she likes this stuff too.
Yeah.
So we can just kind of open up their palate and hopefully making memories for them later.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
that's the goal.
Okay. So what do you need to do with this pot? You need me to turn this on and get
Go ahead and put a little bit of oil
going?
there. We'll just saute some of the pork, get that going.
Okay.
Or you know what? Let's take it back. Let's we start with the onions first.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to put a little olive oil in here in the base.
Yep.
Let this go for...
All I did was slice the onions. You can do a dice also, right?
Okay.
Kind of let it disappear.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I don't measure. Well, it's just
Off the bat. No measure. Just
know that. I don't measure, right?
Just
if I buy an onion, I'm going to use the whole thing.
hard feel. Just
I don't
throw it
like
in there.
saving it.
No, you're
Just
good.
get it done. Who doesn't like onions? I call this kind of like the Filipino mirepoix, right?
Okay.
It's kind of just
Onion, tomatoes, garlic.
yeah. It's like once you start cooking,
Yeah.
man, it's the base for almost everything too, and it's just delicious.
Yeah.
It smells. The house smells great.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to stir these up a little bit. You want me to use salt and pepper in these or anything? Or any
We can
seasoning?
do that a little bit later.
Okay. So I get a little more olive oil in here so I can
Yeah, just let that cook
cook these
some.
down a little bit. I'm just breaking up the bigger pieces.
Yep. Soften them up, right? That's the goal.
So staying on this specific dish,
Okay.
I'm always curious about variations, right? Because recipes there's always some sort of variation that occurs over the years.
Sure.
I like to use the word variation instead of improvement, so that way I can't really offend anybody.
Yeah.
So are there any variations to this dish from when, from maybe when your mom made it? Have you guys added ingredients, taken anything away? Or even seasonings too, anything?
So you know what, right? And I'm one of those guys, right? When I see a recipe, it's a base.
Yeah.
I don't ever follow it.
Right.
So Mary will tell anybody who ever eats my food, enjoy it because it ain't gonna taste the same. I beg to differ.
So are there any other dishes that you're using chayote in, or is this
This is the only one that I've ever had, honestly. I've yet to venture out and do other
chayote dishes
with this vegetable. And there's a couple different Filipino soups that we'll mix up with different vegetables. And, I've never tried it with that yet. But maybe we will.
Since I wouldn't have known what it was, even if I had seen it, where did you get it? Is it at your normal grocery store?
So, yeah, good question, right? I bought these ones at one of our international or oriental store, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And I found it at a couple different ones there, but actually, we do sell it at our Walmart in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So it's, to me, I guess it looks like it's getting more mainstream, but I don't know what they make it with. But right, Googling earlier today, right, just chayote recipes. They had different countries.
Right.
So we'll have to try that out.
Stir fry version and all that.
Yeah. The Mexican version even.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So a couple minutes ago, I asked you, hey, what are the other things you're thinking about making? You brought up fried rice.
Yeah.
And I've obviously had a fair amount of your fried rice, and I can vouch. It's amazing. Not just on camera, but
appreciate it.
Yeah, literally by taste. But one of the things that Willie and I were talking about, because he asked me, he was like, hey, what's Roger making when he comes over your house next week? I was like, I don't know. He hasn't told me yet. But I got a small hope that we're doing Spam fried rice. And he started laughing. He was like, that would be Roger. He was like, Spam fried rice would be
Spam fried rice
Roger.
or kimchi fried rice.
Yeah.
Right. So those are good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So how much longer you want to let this cook before we add anything else in there? It's been going for
garlic,
3 minutes.
Garlic doesn't take long, right?
Yeah.
So I want to get that going a little bit more.
Okay.
I want to soften it up.
Okay. So back to your house, in your house, cooking. What are the staples, right? So what are the staples that you guys are, hey, we're making this every couple of weeks. We're making it once a month. Or you eat more often, what do you find yourself making?
Mary would say, make more food. I cook more, right?
It doesn't matter what it is.
Right. Or do it at least on the weekends. So yeah, I'm going to try to start doing that. Obviously, you got different ways. I handle all the grilling. It's too cold right now to grill. So
it is January or February.
Oh, it is?
It is February. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, whatever, like I'll make fried rice, obviously, because we always have rice.
Yeah.
And, The next day, what do you make? Right? You make fried rice. So we'll do that with the kids. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we kind of just mix it up.
What do the kids ask for? So that's a good one. So, and obviously, I know your kids are older. We don't have to get into specifics on their age, but through the years, what would they ask you to make?
Oh, that's a tough question, man.
Yeah.
It's right. Obviously, when they were younger, mac and cheese, right? Standard. Who doesn't?
Chicken nuggets, chicken tenders.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, things like this, periodically I'll make. There's another Filipino dish with like yellow squash. It's called pinakbet. I love that, but
Okay.
it's.
I don't even know what you just said, but
I know. Neither do I, right? But vegetables, right? A lot of vegetables, some stew meat, stuff like that. And there's another one. It's kind of like a peanut butter based dish. We've never made it yet. We always buy it at the store. I can't remember the name of that right now, but a lot of stuff that we don't make just because it's a little bit complicated, right? So we do have to try to break that down. Sisig is one of the best. We do it without like all the guts, right?
well, I don't even know what it is with the guts. So talk to me about what sisig is.
My neighbor liked it too. We made it one time. So we'll do it with pork belly. And it's usually just pork belly, some peppers, some onions, and then this packet of seasoning, right, with sisig.
Okay.
And you kind of just fry that up and chop it all up at the end of the day. And you can eat it. Eat it with an egg, kind of like a breakfast thing. We have these things called sisig nachos or sisig tots, right? Kind of similar honey asada tots.
Right. Just throw it on top of whatever you want.
Throw it on top of
sisig fries. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Sisig fries.
Throw it on a starch, right? Nachos, same thing at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and put
the garlic in.
Garlic in here.
Let me bring this over real quick, just so you can see how much the onions have kind of cooked down. Starting to get a little caramelization on there. So
here, stinger.
Yep.
We will just throw the garlic in.
Perfect.
And let that cook.
Let this go for a couple minutes. I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil.
Yeah. Definitely have oil in there so it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't want it to burn.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm standing next to the rice cooker. Are we supposed to be doing something with this?
Yeah, we can actually go ahead and start cooking that. I already washed it. Standard is like 3 times, but I'm an overachiever, so I wash it till it's clear. Until the water starts going clear. Because I don't really want that extra.
You already beat me to my next question, which was how many times did you wash it?
Minimum 3. I probably do 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then here it is. Looks clear. And then like any Asian household, you always say, how much water do you put, right? You know the answer?
To my little knuckle.
To your line.
So it's my first, I called it a knuckle.
Yeah, inside knuckle. Yeah. For me, if I put it there, it's a little too much water, then it just gets a little too wet. So I'll probably go a third of the way up. So
on the water that's on top of the rice, not
the water that's on top of the rice.
All the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
So in episode 3, so it is more math. Yeah, this is more math. This is at least the third time we've talked about numbers.
3/4 of the way up.
Yeah. Okay.
I just have the Tiger brand, right? I don't have the Elephant brand. Not that rich there. I just put on quick and just let it do its thing.
Okay.
Should take only like, I think 20 minutes.
Okay. So it's funny because in Willie's episode where we did the chicken adobo, there was rice.
Yes.
My job was wash the rice, determine how much rice and water are supposed to go together. I'm like, hey, I can get in a lot of trouble I could really mess this up or I could do it well. So we'll see how it goes. But he was like, you can't be wrong if you just measure it. So equal parts water, equal parts rice, then we'll go from there. But I asked him, so am I supposed to be doing my finger on this or what's this supposed to look like? He's like, no, just measure. You can't be wrong.
So Willie doesn't do the
I'm not going to say what he does or doesn't do because I'm not going to put him on blast.
All right.
We cooked together one time and we use measuring cups.
Outstanding. No measuring here.
Okay.
There will be no measuring for me.
All right. So here's what we're working with. Now that we got the onions caramelized, the garlic sauteed down a little bit, and the garlic. So we'll put this off to the side. And what are we doing next?
Well, we're going to go ahead and start cooking down the pork.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
A little bit of oil to get it started.
Yeah.
Since we did get rid of 5%, we went with 85-15, I think.
We did.
Versus 80-20.
Was the
A little bit healthier. I think, what do you say? We
added 2 days.
2 days to our
2
life.
days of our life. Again, more numbers, and I guess that's kind of math. 80-15, is that like a ratio? Or I guess a ratio.
85-15, yeah.
85-15. All right, I'm going to brown this up. Do you need me to put any seasoning? I see you got a line of seasoning.
Seasoning. We can add seasoning a little bit later because it is. Yeah, we'll just add it.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I'm doing whatever you tell me. You're the chef.
Yes, sir.
I'm the helping hand.
All right. So yeah, just get that going. We'll brown that. Once you start browning it, we can start adding the tomatoes, and then we'll start seasoning.
Okay.
And adding all the vegetables back in the pot.
Okay. When did you start, like, actually
Start cooking?
spending more time in the kitchen, and when did that start to come out?
Probably just maybe more high school-ish. When I started experimenting on my own.
Yeah.
Actually started with baking, probably junior high, I think I remember.
Baking with a G, not bacon.
Baking,
Okay.
yes, like cookies and all that stuff.
Okay.
Actually, that's a science, right? You got to measure that out. Otherwise, your cookies become hard or soft or
For
whatever.
sure.
I do remember the first batch of brownies that I made. I was winging it, and yeah, it was garbage.
Tasted like you winged it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, no, baking's too precise.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be precise. So, just started doing that. Obviously, learning grilling from my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you did ask me. So something did come back to my head. You did ask me, like, what are the kids like to, wanting us to cook? And usually we'll make like another lemon roasted salmon or whatever, right?
Okay.
Smoked salmon, or not smoked, but just salmon. And we always kind of fight for that belly piece, man, because it gives you that little crunch, a little bit of fat, and just delicious. So we would do that.
Okay.
That's probably one of the main dishes that we cook a lot.
So in terms of grilling, you ever grill that outside, or is it always in the oven?
Obviously, right now it's cold, but I've done it a couple times on the either like my Weber style. I like, if I'm grilling, I like charcoal.
Okay.
We have
You've probably only offended 40% of the grilling population.
So if you ever go to my backyard, I got a Blackstone,
Okay.
With air fryer in there.
Mm-hmm.
We got charcoal grill, got a regular grill, got 2 smokers.
All inclusive.
All inclusive.
Yes.
Vertical and a Traeger.
Okay.
I'm getting older, so I love just setting it and forgetting it.
Yeah.
Cooking brisket. That's one of my favorites.
I'm assuming that you got Bluetooth app that tells you, hey, it's at 200 degrees.
Set it. Usually, when I do my brisket, I'll put it around 2300, right? 11 o'clock midnight, and then set it, make sure the thing's full, and then wake up around 6 or 7. So I got to fill in more.
Yeah.
But, that's usually around that stall time at 160.
Mm-hmm.
And then get it going and wrap it up, whatnot.
Right.
I won't give you all my secrets to that, but
You won't give me, or you won't give whoever's watching this video?
Yeah, I'll give it to you later.
Okay. Because I was going to ask, but I don't want to be
no secrets
disappointed. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. So you listed off, I don't know, the front row of lows in terms of what
we have
backyard.
that.
Okay. And that's awesome. So which one do you use more than others? At a time of the year dependent, or
Time of the year dependent. Probably my charcoal grill more than anything else.
Okay.
I don't have a fancy charcoal grill, just simple.
Yeah, little kettle grill, like a 22 incher.
I don't know. No, it's a little bit bigger than 22, I think, but or it might be. I don't know. One that we bought, a floor model gun at Target, right?
Yeah.
Like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Looks like a Weber type deal, but it's
Okay.
but yeah, we love that grill. I love that grill. But Mary's she doesn't have the patience for a charcoal, so we got her a gas grill.
Oh, she has her own grill.
Yeah, so if she wants to grill, she'll use the gas grill.
Okay.
So just don't burn down anything.
Specific instructions.
Yes.
Specific instructions.
But I love the Blackstone, obviously. You guys saw that when we related to camping one day. But I love it.
Yeah.
Blackstone's probably one of my favorites.
All right. Waiting to put this back in there, or is this going back in last for the onions and
we'll go second to last. We'll go ahead and cook down the potatoes. So you just about brown. You're almost there.
Yeah, maybe 2 more minutes.
Yeah. But that'll start cooking anyways. You want to go ahead and show the camera or no?
Yeah, I'll bring it over there. Are we? I'll give it another minute and then I'll bring it over there.
Okay.
Are we draining any of this?
No,
Or just let it go?
Okay.
Okay.
Need.
And there's really not that much
Yeah.
in here because of the 15.
15%, right?
You got it. You already knew where I was going.
Healthy. Get my good angle.
Healthy. I don't know what. So this is pork.
Yeah.
I know beef you can do 97.3, I think, all the way.
You can do. I've never seen 97.3. I say 93.7.
Okay, maybe I'm just making stuff up.
I think you're just a little bit dyslexic on that one. I've seen
95.5?
I haven't seen the 95.5. I've seen 93.7.
Okay. All right. So you know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
You're going to go check.
Yeah,
You're gonna
everybody.
take a picture. I know you. You're a rabbit hole king.
That's exactly what I want to
But
do.
I've never seen that.
Okay.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Internet.
So 85.15, if you say anything leaner than that for pork,
For pork, no. That's actually the first one I've seen.
that lean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
All right. Well, again, getting those 2 days back on our lives. We're
Yeah.
keeping them.
we probably could have added a week, to our lives if we went with ground turkey. Right?
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah. But for the trip, I did a mix, right? I did a little bit healthier with
Right.
2 pounds of this, but a pound of pork and a pound of ground turkey.
Right. All right. So we're obviously, I wouldn't necessarily call this brown, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
There's
And
no crispy bits in here.
it'll just cook down at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So we're going to go ahead and throw in the tomatoes.
Okay.
We want these to basically disappear.
Okay. So same temp is good.
You go a little higher,
Okay.
mix it up, and just cover it eventually.
Yeah.
This might be too much.
Okay. Let's go with that. So we've basically, I would call this, we've covered I'll just show everybody real quick, but let's say we pretty much almost covered the top of the pork with the tomatoes. So
If you can,
Yeah.
go ahead and put the tomatoes on the bottom because, again, we want those to basically disappear, right? Cook down.
well, if I'm putting them on the bottom, they do disappear.
You hear money through Friday.
That's
Catch
the only, that's not even a joke. I wouldn't give it that much credit to call it a joke.
Hey, you're a dad. It's
Yeah.
all good.
All right. I don't know how further down I could put these,
You're
but we'll
good.
let them go. Do you want to put the lid on? You want me to put the lid on here?
Yeah, go ahead and lid it up.
Okay.
That way it does its magic.
Okay. So that's going to go.
We'll go medium high.
All right.
Let it work. Rice is going. We
Rice
can
is
always
going.
look at it. And
It's got a preview button.
just look at it. Sometimes what I'll do is if it's kind of comes to the middle like a volcano, I'll just kind of
Yeah.
mix it up a little bit. You could do that.
Okay. So we.
Yeah, that's it. Close it up.
All right. So we still got a little bit of time over there on the rice
Tomatoes, yeah.
and that stuff. Okay.
So we got some time.
Okay. So
But all in all, pretty easy, right? We're just chopping up the onions, cooking that down, put the pork on, cook that down, and then just kind of marry it all up right at the end of the day.
okay.
And then when you cook this, the chayote, it's I like it a little soft. Some people like it a little crunch, so obviously you can't go backwards.
That's correct.
Right? So
We could
if you
start
do-
over.
We could.
Or not, but yeah, we could.
But you definitely want to, however you want to, right? That's where you get to play around with.
Okay.
So your
Cook it as long as we want.
Yeah.
Depending on the texture and the firmness that
Correct.
we want when we eat it. Okay.
Correct.
So before we put that chayote back, I know we got a little bit of on here. Onions go back in first.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put that in, and then we can put that in. We can put it all in together at the end of the day. Let me do it.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Okay, got it. I'll reset. No, you're good.
No, this.
All right, so obviously now the tomatoes have cooked down. I don't want to say they're underneath the pork. I think that's what you said, but they're pretty close. All right,
Want them
so
to disappear.
yeah, exactly. So next we're gonna throw the onions and garlic back in.
And stir that in. And we can go ahead and throw in the main ingredient here,
Okay,
and we'll cook that down.
awesome. So we've added more to this. So what are we? How many do we have now? 3, 3.5, 4,
4 total.
4. All right,
But
4.
we won't put all of it. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's go ahead and season some of this stuff
All right.
because it's going to be a little bit harder
All right. So
we'll go with garlic powder.
okay. I'm not going to ask you the measurements.
No,
You're not going to tell me.
We're just going to feel it. All right.
If I had to feel, it was probably like 2 tablespoons.
Sure.
Okay.
Pepper.
Enough to cover. I'll say that's enough to cover. We'll go from there.
Salt.
All right. A couple of dashes of salt.
And then 2 different sauces, right? You guys know what this is.
All right. A little soy sauce. I don't know what the next sauce is, but I have an idea.
Yeah. This is the umami.
Yeah.
Cod fish sauce.
All right. That's what I was thinking.
All right.
All right.
Shep will say this is the brand. It is. There's this one and another one.
Like the only brand you should use.
Yeah, there's probably 2. Do it by taste a little bit later, so we can go ahead and throw that in.
Okay. So the chayote, and you can break it up.
Yep, I'll mix it up.
And for some reason, somebody's just tuning in. These are not apples.
They look like apples.
They do
right?
look like apples right now.
The way they're sliced and everything.
Yeah. Almost makes me want peanut butter. So I wonder if that'd be good if you had like a peanut butter type based sauce.
So there is a peanut butter like based stew that we have in the Philippines.
Is that enough?
Good. Yeah, let's try that. We'll try that.
3 more for good luck.
That works. All right.
All right. So that's going to cook down for what? 5 minutes? 3 or 5 minutes right now? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Let's go to cook down.
More than 5, less than 10. How's that?
So cook down.
Too much math in here. So just mix it up.
Okay. So let's take this over and.
Go ahead.
All right. So we got all the ingredients in here. Everything that's going to go in here final product wise. Got the chayote, got the stewed down tomatoes, the onions, the garlic, soy sauce, fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, probably 2 teaspoons. Tablespoon sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper. And that's it.
That's it. This is the magic dust that we'll just put a layer at the end. This is what,
Okay.
if you don't like it, we don't have to put it on.
Does it rhyme with FRG?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Very
it does, right? That's the magic ingredient that everybody loves. It's in Doritos. That's why everybody loves Doritos.
La, don't tell me.
Yeah.
It's all good. I do love Doritos. All right. So let this cook for a couple minutes.
Rice just finished. I heard that beep a few minutes ago as well.
And you said we can do plate
We can do plate or bowl.
Do you have a preference?
I like those blue bowls up top in the middle. There you go.
Go with the lighter color ones.
Yeah.
I do
We
like
have
these.
similar bowls, and that's kind of
Feels homey.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give you this bowl, and this can be your plating. So you got it. All right. So we'll let this cook down.
AI says
Mhm.
chayote can be eaten both raw and cooked.
All right.
When raw, it has crunchy texture similar to jicama, while when cooked, becomes softer texture like zucchini, making versatile various dishes. What does that taste like? Great in salads, salsas, thinly sliced for crisp addition dishes to mild flavor and crunchy texture.
I would
Not much
say
flavor, I would say, right? Or is there a flavor?
it's kind of like a cucumber, onion.
Have you had jicama?
What'd you call me?
Have you had jicama, though?
No. Not maybe once. I know what it looks like. The white,
Yeah, like a
white
slaw,
Rudy.
usually
Yeah.
slot up, at least in like Thai dishes.
All right. So now this has been going for a little bit. Smells amazing.
Thank you.
Not you, the food.
That too.
That's it. Exactly. All right. Stir this up for a second. The chayote is definitely softened up. Still got a little firmness to it or texture. I'll bring this over so everyone can kind of see what we're working with here.
All right, and we added no water to this, so water from the tomatoes and the chayote kind
Yeah,
of
I'm sure that was
build
kind of
that soupiness.
part of it. Yeah. But it is, you mentioned this earlier. I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, but stewish, right? It kind of
Stewish, yeah.
almost comes out like a stew. with that in there.
And it coats the rice, right? Rice is pretty plain, so that
Yeah.
kind of helps work together
For
at the end
sure.
of the day.
For
So
sure.
a little bit of Filipino comfort food at the end of the day.
Awesome. You can see some chunks of garlic there. The onions obviously super soft at this point. They've been going for a bit. Okay, so next is we're gonna
Plate it?
plate a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let me move this off of here. I'll kind of put this to the side. You fill that up with some rice. Yes, I meant to ask you this earlier. It just popped in my head, but I'm always interested in if people would mess around with different cookbooks. Is that something you guys do at the house? You guys use cookbooks? I know you guys wing a lot of stuff, which I think is amazing, by the way. But are there cookbooks that you guys focus on?
I would say Mary does like to use cookbooks, right? Just to mix it up, try to find other recipes that we don't know or have tried yet.
Yeah.
So I bought her a couple of the, she likes the Pioneer Woman,
Okay.
that series. And actually from an old buddy of ours, Stan Kennedy.
Yeah.
When he invited us over for dinner one time,
Mm-hmm.
his wife gave us The Joy of Cooking. So it's a pretty standard cookbook. It's
Yeah.
been around for a while.
Yeah.
And Mary loves that one. So she always refers to that. Me, if I'm trying something new, I'll just go to the internet at this point.
Yeah.
Simple.
But the Joy of the Cooking is the one you've had for a while then.
Yeah, we've had that.
If that was a wedding gift.
Probably, yeah. So, yeah, I would say we just went past, 21 and a half, I think, years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've had that for about 21 years. that
Okay.
book.
I have to check that one out. I'm not familiar with the Joy of
Yeah,
Cooking.
The Joy of Cooking.
Okay. All right. So I don't know how much I'm supposed to put on here.
Yeah, whatever.
And since this is my bowl, I'm just doing
Do whatever you want.
whatever I want. But and off camera here, right in front that you guys can't see, is a little jar of chili crunch that, as long as chef's okay with me putting it on mine.
Yeah, so there's no spice in here, right? The only pepper is black pepper.
Right.
I usually like a little bit of hot sauce as well or something,
Yeah.
right, to some spice. As we all know, I think your family, my family, and our extended family there,
Yeah.
chili crisp is like on everything.
It's I don't want to say it has to be, but it almost has to be, at least for me.
Yeah.
At least this one, right? So this one's my favorite. So I don't know if this will come up, but Momofuku, Chili Crunch, David Chang's, big fan. Actually, like watching. Have you seen his Netflix series?
Yeah.
Dinner Time Live.
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
one's
cool.
that one's awesome. All right. So I think at this point we got both bowls here ready to go. What am I missing? Anything
Taste the spoons.
besides the put a little
Where's the spoons? There you go.
spoons? Are you a big spoon, little spoon?
I'm a tablespoon
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
That's a teaspoon.
That's a teaspoon. Yeah, so big spoon.
Yeah. All right.
Especially out of these bowls, right? We have these bowls, similar bowls, just like it
Yeah. So I'm gonna get us a little serving
for the
for the chili crunch here.
Oh. Yeah, just throw a dollop on mine if you don't mind too.
Yeah,
and I'll-
for sure.
I'll mix
Stir it
all
up.
Yep. All good.
Is that good?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Chayote. It's Chayote time.
It's
I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm going to start saying.
Yeah, I've
Chayote
also
time.
heard it as Sautee. I don't know if that's just.
We
Filipino
can't be
way.
20 minutes into the video and you
Whatever,
tell me we're
man.
pronouncing it wrong.
You call it whatever you want to.
We'll see what the comments say if we're saying it wrong. But I'm going to
Chayote, Sautee. Which one? It's from Central America,
All
right?
right, I'm going Chayote.
All right.
All right, let's go enjoy some food.
Let's eat.
All right, bro.